What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, where we left off last time, we were in gun spread flex in the spread playbook, and it's, like I said, one of my favorite formations. We have a ton of things to go to here. We have our audible set. So, as a quick recap, we got mash, Y cross, RPO read screen, which is probably the best triple option in the game. And we have slot flags, which is a really good niche play with Winston concept on the backside. Um, and then the ability to go street corner flat on the right, right? So we also have two other 2x2 formations or 2x2 spread formations that I want to get into here, and they just attack. Like the quick game that you can get out of all three of these 2x2 formations is actually insane. So we have Z spot, which we have spot on the right, and we have lion on the left. So versus single high, we want to read the right side of the field. Versus double high, we want to read the left side of the field. You know, like you have backside concepts, front side concepts. I do really, really like that. Um, we have angle smash, which, you know, you have the Texas concept with that tight end seam and then the running back angle route or Texas route. A really sharp corner, sharp breaking outside corner with angle smash. That's a really good corner there. And one of the things I've always liked to do is utilize motion in this formation, and I'll get to why in a second. But we have weak flood, which personally I don't like, but I love the post. I don't like the route combo. I love the post, and I'll go over that in a few seconds. We got 0-1 trap, which is one of the best quick hitting traps in the game. Curl combo. Don't sleep on curl combo, bro. Like, it's curl flat. You see single high, you want free yards, call curl flat. Right? Why shallow cross? Very easy to replay. It's shallow cross, but you have a built-in gift route. So you have a built-in 10-yard out route on the right side of the screen, right? Like, very much so one of the freest plays that you ever can run, right? You have your four verticals in here. You have your slip screen, your draw, and PA read. So if you if you're looking at the right side of the screen right now, I called this play one time for a 73-yard touchdown, and that's because I saw cover six, and I'm like, you know, cover six double post really does beat the cover four side of cover six. Let me just go ahead and attack this for, you know, a big gain. We actually scored a touchdown. Um, but before we get into all that stuff, and we got to go over spread halfback week as well, which is another one of my favorite formations. RPO peak slant has been my my play action audible for years. It used to be PA bubble Y over. I used to really like this play, the double post versus, you know, cover six, cover four, quarters, palms, all that good stuff. I used to really like that, but I've since, you know, went more along the lines of this RPO peak slant, just because if we're running the ball enough, and I mean like t 10 to, I'd say 12 to 15 rush attempts in the spread offense will get somebody to have to pay attention to the run enough that you can get this peak slant for easy yards on short yardage plays. Um, we have our read option here. We have our 8 shallow cross, which is instead of the tight end running shallow, you have your slot receiver running shallow. You have a halfback counter here, which I haven't ran it that much this year, but in the past it has been really, really good. Um, Now I've been running it with a subpar O line. My guards are terrible with this team, but we plan on getting that fixed soon, either via the draft or development. You still have your RPO read bubble here. Now the difference with this one, I don't know if you can tell, but the running back is on a outside zone track. So this is an outside zone run read option with a bubble. So take that with a grain of salt if you know what you're doing with outside zone. If you have the O line for it, specifically the tackles, then you can get busy with outside zone read bubble. That's cool. And this is what I mean about having so many options in the spread playbook, so many different wrinkles, you know, like just from 2x2 spread, right? Just from 2x2 spread, we can get to halfback base, which we have here. We have a halfback counter. We have a 5-6 trap, which is what cake lead or cake read option is. We have outside zone with a bubble. We have outside zone with a flanker screen. We have our draws, of course. We have a outside zone peak slant here. Regular old read option. outside zone, inside zone, read option inside zone, RPO read double screen, which is the same as spread flex. We have an 0-1 trap here. We have outside zone draw, and we get over to spread flex, and we have RPO read screen, outside zone, jet touch pass. Like the possibilities are literally endless in this playbook, man. So getting into spread double flex. I did mention that we ran this play one time for 73 yards and a touchdown. That was our last game. If you didn't catch that stream, feel free to catch that stream, man. So we're gonna call this play specifically, and I believe I actually set up these how it would be in game, how someone would set this up, right? We're not gonna touch the zone drops, just based on uh, wanting to play match coverage and everything like that. So let's say we're getting a heavy cover 4 quarters team. The only adjustment I like to make here is just to put this guy on a deep cross. So essentially you have double post, and you're reading. If you know it's cover 4 quarters, like they've been spamming cover 4 quarters, you know what their quarters looks like, then go ahead and dial up the play and score the touchdown, right? But if you're just really reading it out, you're really reading X to triangle to square, right? Is X open? Yes, throw it. Take your 5 to 7 yards every single time. If you do that twice, it's a first down, right? If we go X to triangle to square, triangle's covered, but square's a touchdown if you don't get the practice mode pressure, bro. Oh, man, the practice mode pressure. But I'll go ahead and just take a peek at the replay so you can see what it looks like here. So once we snap this ball here, this guy's going to test or take this safety vertical. And that, because it's cover 4 quarters, it's match coverage, that quarter to that side of the field is going to match onto any vertical routes, which is going to be this deep cross. Now, if you look over here, you have your one-on-one shot, right? Now, this isn't a guaranteed one-play touchdown. I mean, if you have an elite receiver, super speedy, and you're playing against a bum corner, like 88, 90 speed or whatever, you might be able to bomb him for a one-play touchdown almost every time. But that's Nate Wiggins. He's not a bum. He's not slow. So he should be able to stick with Bateman on this play, right? We'll run it a couple more times, see if we can get the pass off here. Big completion. What is that, 30, 40 yards downfield? That's similar to how it looked versus my opponent in our last game. But like I said, for the most part, man, when you know it's match, you can manipulate match in a way that like you get your one-on-ones. We got our comeback route here, who's going to be absolutely back. He's going to get doubled, right? The quarter on this side of the field has no vertical threats, so he's going to latch onto the number one and double that route, right? Our guy here running across her, he's just running across from getting redirected to getting matched to getting buzzed under. You know what I mean? Like that guy is just covered at every point of the field. But what he does is he clears out for this guy for the one-on-one ball. You just have to know when and where to take your shots, right? That is enough separation right there to be able to throw this ball. This is a bullet pass as far to the right as I can throw it, right? We didn't freeform it. I don't feel a need to freeform as much in this game as I have in the past, like Madden 24. But, neither here nor there. That is a completion, right? So anytime you also see a two deep shell like this, you can get into Z spot, you can get into 0-1 trap, you can get over to halfback base, you can get into RPO peak slant, you can get into RPO read screen. So like you have access to all this stuff just in 2x2. Now, how I do like switch releases. This is more so for like a man coverage look. Someone's coming out in cover 2 man a lot. I will run some switch release and just absolutely cook their guys down the sidelines with their slot guy on a wheel, and then our outside guy on that burst release post typically is good against 2 man under as well, because the safeties are going to widen out for the most part, and then you're going to be able to have a one-on-one with that guy playing underneath trail, and you're throwing a post over the middle of the field. And it should be opened as well, because one, the wheel route is going to keep the left safety wide, and the corner route is going to keep the right safety wide. So you have a one-on-one ball. You know what I mean? Now, with this year's game, speaking of this play fork wheel, you might be inclined to get this opposite side post out of your way. So what would you do with that guy?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
You know, versus two man under, I like to motion this guy
Hey,
over here,
Ozzy,
leave him
Ozzy,
on a
chill
drag.
out.
So now you have mesh, right? And there's another play, well, there's another formation where it's very similar to this actual play here, that I really like to run as well. But you know, we could do
Hey, hey,
running back on
report.
a wheel,
13,
tied in
13.
on a drag. Now we have mesh wheel with a post, or mesh post with two wheels. You know what I mean? So like, there's different things that you can do with these formations here, and when you're, you know, like for the most part, mesh post. I don't like outside posts like that.
Hey, middle, middle,
If it was a
middle.
slot post, I would love it. But I like dig routes from the outside guys when we're running mesh, right? So we're running mesh here, wide ass open grass, take it every time. Um, and that's just until they start to play underneath, right? And that is a little bit of a freestyle play. Like, let's not keep this like let's call a spade a spade. I just hot routed. I motioned the guy and hot routed three guys on that specific play, right? But you know, it's a very similar concept to what we're trying to achieve here. You know what I mean? We have mesh, we have a wheel route, we have two wheel routes actually. So those two wheel routes are gonna widen out any type of. Oh, this is beautiful. This is actually beautiful right here. This is why you run mesh to get this to happen. Both of those defenders running into each other and the receiver is just scot free. That's why you run mesh right there, brother. Um, doesn't get much better than that. But when you're running these mesh concepts, or you know, like spread offense or air raid plays, you're just reading grass, and it's a lot of grass right here, brother. A ton of it. So that's why we hit our guy there. Now, as far as pressure goes, we weren't under immense pressure here. So I think it's a three-man rush. That's a four-man. Four-man rush. Ideally, I would have loved to hit this dig route, or to be able to trust my O line to hit this dig route because it does come open. It definitely does come open, right? And you can see why. You know, like we got our clear outs. You know, our wheel is going to clear out there. He's going to take any deep zones vertically. They're going to run with him. The dig's going to come open over the middle of the field. The mesh is going to be clearing out any underneath guys. And if he's not clearing out any underneath guys, he's open, so throw it to him. It's just basic stuff, right? Um,
Hey, finish it
so
off.
let's get into another play here. So we went over what? We went over one, two, read, fork wheel, O1 trap, Z spot. Z spot is really just easy to run. One of the things I do like about this formation as well, and one of the plays that I will come out in, and because it's not in my audibles, I'll just come out in Y shallow cross, right? So if we call Y shallow cross, and let's see, let's call can we do random over? Yeah, we can do random over.
Finish it on.
All right. So
Sit
we got a
hard.
press look here.
Ready.
I would actually, this looks like either cover three cloud or cover six. So I would actually go PA
Ready.
read
Hey, hey.
and run this guy here. So if it's cover three cloud, I'll be able to hit the comeback on the right side of the field. If it's cover six, I'll be able to hit the post again. Right?
Sit up.
Let's take a look at the safety. All that good stuff. Throw this ball over the top. Zone catch. That's cover six. Right?
Ready.
So this is why I like this is why I like labbing with random plays, because a lot of times when you know exactly what the play is, you know exactly what to do, and it's like, all right, this is good to rep this, but you know, in terms of what you're seeing and how to attack things that you see in game, you want to be able to read what is this guy doing here, right? Is he in a cloud flat? Is he in a hard flat? Is he in a soft squat? Because he's down here pressed up on our corner. So when this guy turns and runs with this guy, this receiver, I automatically know that this is cover six, because that's the only time he's going to turn and run with that guy in match coverage. It's cover six. Now I have this guy on this whip route here, wide ass open. 1000% can throw this, right? 1000%. But because I know it's cover six, and I know the route combo that we have on the field, I know that this guy's going to clear out the inside quarter and keep that outside half or deep half well outside of this throw. to get this big ball down the field for a nice catch. Now we did possession catch that from what I believe we're spotted at the 25. Yeah, we are spotted at the 25. Just gets on his horse, and this is a very run-of-the-mill receiver. I think 80, 81, 82 overall versus 80 overall DB, so pretty even matchup there. Again, we get a two-man under look here. So one of the things I would love to do against two-man under is we're just going to go with the mesh concept. All right, bang. Two-man under. They can't stop both drags. You know, they can't stop both drags, brother. We got off coverage here, so we would stay in this play. We're going to look to read this gift route. If the gift route is there, we throw it. If it's not there, we're reading shallow cross on the right side over the middle of the field, right? Snap the ball. Easy peasy, 10-yard gain. And I'll show you exactly what we're reading here on this play. So we had two deep safeties. We have off coverage. We're looking to throw this route, right? So when we're looking to throw this route, what makes this route open is we know that this guy from this alignment is likely going to back up and play some type of deep quarter, deep half, deep third, right? So what determines whether we throw this quick out or not is does this guy buzz out to take away that throw? He does not. His first step is inside. He cannot make a play on this ball because of where he is and where we're throwing it. We're throwing it down and outside, right? Down and outside pass lead, easy money. This play is a quick snapper's dream. It's a quick snapper's dream, bro. Again, you got two deep safety look. It looks like we're going to get zeroed here. So we're going to, again, read the outside. If we get zeroed, we will throw hot to X, right? Bang. Easy money. We're getting upfield. Got a 20-yard gain out of there. Easiest of easy monies, right? And why is it there? Why do I say, oh, that looks like zero? You just have to recognize the alignments, right? If you're in quarters or quarter half, your safeties are going to be at about 12 yards depth. If you're in cover two, they're going to be about 14 yards depth. You have to pay attention to that safety depth, right? Right here, they're standing at the 10-yard line. Cornerbacks are 8 yards off, right? Everything looks like um, everybody's, like all the linebackers and D line are coming, right? Snap of the ball here, get the blitz picked up. We're hot. We throw the little quick drag, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Can we throw the out route as well? Probably. It's gonna be a tighter throw, but here we are, completing the pass for 20 yards. All right, so let's say a look like this, right? This is perfect. A look like this. Let's go RPO peak slant, right? And because that safety's all the way back there, and the linebacker's not walked down on the tight end, I would actually flip this. I want that tight end to be my receiver. If that guy with the P over his head crashes down for the run, we throw the slant, right? If he backs up, that means we have five blockers on five runners. Five blockers on five defenders, and we should be able to run this ball very effectively, right? So we're just reading that pitch guy. Boom, boom. You take a 5 to 7 yard gain there, and it's very easy stuff, right? And this is what I mean when I say like you guys have to get into your bag in terms of knowing what's available to you in your audibles, your hot routes, what you have access to on a play-to-play, game-to-game basis. Like this was me coming out in doubles Y flex, noticing in a funky alignment with the safety right here. I'm like, all right, cool. If he's going to stay all the way back there and this linebacker is going to stay inside, let me put that linebacker in conflict because this safety cannot come down and cover a slant from where he is, right? So we go RPO, peak, slant. It's very simple shit. And it's a weak box if you account for the person you're putting in conflict. If this guy, 32, if he comes down and crashes down to stop the run, we throw the slant. If he takes a step backwards, which he does, we run the ball. He took a step backwards. We hand his ball off. We're spotted at the 25-yard line. What is that? We get 5, almost 10 yards. We get a 9-yard gain out of that, man. Yeah. That's the
Get
rest
on!
of spread, two by two. There's
Alright!
not much else to say
Finish it!
here. Shallow cross is still shallow cross. We went over that in spread flex. The only difference here is that it's H shallow cross instead of Y shallow cross. You know, versus a single high look here. You can run, you could run this
Alright,
H
alright!
shallow cross, right? What I would do is I would either come back this backside guy
On the odds, you ready?
or put him on that quick 10-yard in route or out route. I mean,
Get on!
bang, easy money. See if we can hurdle something. Now this is very interesting. I'm glad I actually ran this rep again because I
Finish
was
it!
actually going to end the video. But here we go, running H shallow cross, right? Check this out right here. You got single high safety, so middle of the field is closed. So why do we not throw this out route here that we alerted to? Why is this not an easy completion? Because this isn't cover three. This is cover two invert. And this corner is trapping this throw, which is so beautiful. This corner is trapping this throw. He's squatting on this out route. He's in a cloud flat, brother. That is not open at all. So because I can recognize that, I know what that looks like. I actually run these kind of traps coverages myself. Um, because I know what that looks like. My eyes come off of that, and we're then reading shallow cross, right? Now, that's wild. Does this guy blitz? That's tough. So we got a cover two out of a cover three shell with a creeper blitz. That's wild. That's actually send five. Wowzers. Look at that running back wide ass open though. So like here's one of the other things that I don't fully understand, so I can't really speak on it too much, but I have heard this in the past, and I want to learn it more actually. So there's a term called blitz replace. So you want to typically throw the ball where the blitzer came from, meaning because we got this corner blitz here or this nickel blitz out of his left side, that left side where he vacated is wide open now. You know what I mean? Like 34 is wide open because that's where the blitzer came from. Now I believe this is cover two. Now that I know that guy blitz, we got a five-man pressure. This is essentially cover two nickel blitz, and this guy should be matching on to the number two. Um, and when Flowers crosses his face, 34 becomes the new number two. He should stay out there with him, but he doesn't. He does not. And we're able to still make this throw here, even though he's covering the guy he's not supposed to be covering. But it is what it is. Still a good read, still a completion in my book. Um, we still get 10 to 15 yards out of there, so it is what it is. Um,
Sit hard!
I'll get into a
Ready!
couple more plays here. I'll try not to keep you guys much longer than what I already have. We're at 23 minutes. That's insane, bro. Four verts, peak slant. We went over that. Base is very much a basic, just down block power scheme, power run scheme. Eight shallow cross is very much so the same as Y shallow cross. I guess the only thing we haven't went over is two by two verticals, right? Um, but we also can do RPO read bubble here. So let's go over the track for outside zone out of shotgun because this is not an easy scheme to run here, right? So I do like this to the opposite side. Like I do like
Hey,
this to
up!
your
Sit
to
hard!
your better offensive tackle,
Sit hard!
right? So
Ready! Finish it!
we can do this as just a regular read option. We can do this as like, okay, let's read out the play. But when you have two deep safeties and the corners are rolled up on the line of scrimmage, I like to just read this as read option, right? So let's take a look at this read key. If he crashes down, we're gonna keep it out the back door. If he stands up, we're gonna hand it off, right?
Sit hard!
Good job, Roquan Smith. Good lord, he blew that guard up. He
Finish it!
blew that guard up, bro. Um, but yeah, essentially what we have here is very much so a 4-on-5 blocking. We have five blockers versus four guys in the box because we're making one wrong, right? We're making this guy wrong, so he's taken out completely. What's very unfortunate is that Roquan Smith was able to just absolutely decapitate a 300-pound guard and make this play. That's really unfortunate. Let's run this a couple more times, man. But because I really want you guys to see
Ready?
what the track looks like on an outside zone. And we actually got good blocking there. We weren't able to get to the outside, but essentially you want to run this track to come right off of the left tackle's hip, right? And that is a perfect example of what that gap looks like when he warped 76 warped to get that block. That's really unfortunate. I don't like that. But in any case, here we are with the run here. And if this is Derrick Henry, you get the one-on-one with the safety, and you just truck that man or something like that. Um, if you got a Saquon Barkley and all that good stuff, you can do a lot of things to make stuff happen. But you can see here, this outside zone is very much so effective because we're taking a guy out of the play with the read.
Ready? Set
Um, and it just depends on your front side blocking, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know I will have a worse time running to 51 side because he's just absolute dog shit right now.
Ready?
But, it is what it is, man. We can always, again, we run an outside zone with the peak slant as well. So, let's take a peek here. Oh, wow. The slot blitz, that got me. That got me. But I think we're going to go ahead and end the video here, man. Tons of things to go over for you guys to review. Tons of options in 2x2 spread, man. Just to recap, just what the audibles are. We have 8 shallow cross, base, 4 verts, peak slant. We got Z spot, O1 trap, switch release, fork wheel, PA read, which is a cover 6 killer. And we have spread flex, so we got our slot flags, RPO read screen, Y cross, and mesh. So if you can't get the ball rolling with those 12 plays, as well as everything else that's in the playbooks, in the formations, like your Z shallow cross here, like your stick, like your Y corner, Y shallow cross, again, just very good play. If you can't get busy with cake read option, with outside zone read screens, I don't know what to tell you, brother. There's answers for everything in this playbook. You got halfback counters here. Regular read options. PA read, that post from that guy on the right in PA read is absolutely killer versus every type of man coverage, brother. But yeah, man, I'm going to end it there. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, be sure to dislike it, leave some hateful comments, and unsubscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out.